got some gossip. I got some tea to spill.
Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, hello. This is my Greek Life Edition series that I do story times and talk about real world experiences that I've had and anything that can be helpful or give you behind the scenes of what really goes on in Greek life. And if you guys like my choker, this is actually a DIY choker that I talk all about on my last video, so please do check it out. And the link is in the description just because I think it's really cute, and if you guys haven't seen this video, I know you guys are going to want to see this video. So, okay, so on to the video. This is going to be 10 things of advice to help all of you new members out on how to just be the best new member that you can be in your sorority. First, sign up for everything, and this goes beyond the socials and the mixers that you're going to have with other fraternities. Yes, I know, the boys are cute. You're going to want to talk to them, get Instagram photos with them, flirt, hook up, all that fun stuff. Sign up for things beyond that. Sign up for socials that go on with other sororities that you might have, functions that are for the philanthropy, or just getting involved in other people's Greek weeks that have to do with their philanthropy. And sometimes the events aren't the best. You know, dodgeball, trash can, beer pong, all that stuff. That stuff can be kind of fun. You know the rules. There's not a lot of pressure to it. Some softball, volleyball games. I don't really know what all the schools have. Those aren't as fun, but if you're with your sisters, it is a great chance to have that bonding activity, especially when it's a type of sport. Sports always brings people together, so even if it's not your sport and not your shining moment and you're not super athletic, it's, you know, it's kind of nice to then simulate that sportsmanship and that atmosphere by doing sport activities. Things that you didn't think were possible for you in high school and college, well, the doors are opening for you. Take advantage. And it's going to make you look like you're a team player and you're a lot about sisterhood and not just boy crazy partier of the sense. 2, encourage group lunch and dinner dates. Now, these are the best times ever for me because I'm someone that when I get back to my dorm, I'm either doing work, doing YouTube, being lazy, or just staring at a wall, okay? So once I'm in my dorm room, I'm not gonna be coming out of my dorm room for a long time, except for to grab food. And so what better way to do than do something that is essential to your humanly needs, you know, eating, to have that done in a social environment. Now, besides the fact that this is an opportunity for you to get to know other sisters and people who are maybe beyond your pledge class or in your pledge class or your potential big, not only is that helpful, but it's also nice to get to know their roommates, because not only is that a future friend, but that's also somebody you can recruit in the future if you're just thinking about the sorority 24/7. So how great is it to expand your friend group and get them in your sorority with you? So, you know, just because they're not a sister yet doesn't mean that they're not a great friend. So always encourage having group lunches, group dinners, all that stuff. And it can just take place all on campus because there's a lot of people who are on the same boat as you who have a meal plan and don't have additional money to spend and honestly are also in a time crunch. You know, they have majors, they have work to do. So eating on campus, best thing possible. 3, stay active in your GroupMe, group messages, group texts, all that stuff. Don't hide the notifications for that. It might get super annoying, but, you know, for the first month and a half or so, stay in it, you know, and contribute to it. Don't be just that quiet person because people are going to forget that you're in it. You know, even if it's just asking a question about chapter or trying to assemble a group going out on a Friday night, and it's just a very vague text, do it. You know, you don't do it too much. Nobody likes the person who talks everybody's ears off. But, you know, once or twice a week is a great number. You can do more if, you know, you feel like you're getting good feedback from everybody. Nobody seems annoyed and stuff. And, you know, also do your part. So if you're in a group text talking to people, maybe call people out. That sounds bad off in the beginning. But, you know, if you want to do a group lunch and you realize that there's somebody in the group who doesn't really talk much and maybe they're shyer, So once you get that assembled, maybe then put in the message like, how about you, Sarah, are you down? Smiley face. Just seeing like that, and then that'll kind of encourage people to jump on board and say, yeah, are you coming? You know, just to make that other person feel good, feel wanted, even if they cannot make it or attend. And that's just good karma, and that's good to think about, because again, just because they're shy doesn't mean that they're a bad sister or a bad friend of any sort. So do that and just get involved. I know it's obnoxious. I don't like the group me's. When you're a senior, you're over it, you're tired of it. You either delete yourself out of it, you could care less. But as a new member, that is something that you just kind of have to suck it up and deal with. Get involved and force yourself to love it if you don't love it already. 4, which, yeah, we're on 4. Always make time for your pledge class. People in your pledge class are your day one friends. You know, like the saying, you know, make new friends, one is silver and the other's gold, you know? And so your gold friends are the ones that have been there from getting your bid, from the time when you didn't know anyone and you were at the most insecure and shy level of your life within your sorority. That is, you know, that is a rough time, and they were in the same boat as you. It's like a childhood friend, okay? So when having those experiences, you need to appreciate them. Now it's easy because right now you're on the hunt for your future family, and to be cool and deemed as a valid member by the cool seniors in your SRAT. So, you know, it is easy to forget and want to disregard your pledge class, feeling like you're not going to get anything out of them. You know, they don't have any credibility to boost your popularity. Now, that sounds bad, but I do know that is a mindset of some sisters. Doesn't always make them a bad sister, you know, and a lot of times you go into a sorority still, you know, haven't shaken off all the stereotypes, and maybe initially you do go in it for popularity. So that's a valid thing. Don't call me shallow. I'm trying to address everybody's needs here, okay? So just don't do it, okay? Make time for your pledge class. 5, and it is a super important one. If you find yourself changing, whether subconsciously or you're going out of your way to make these efforts to change yourself as a person, and when I say change, I don't mean, you know, maturing, evolving, seeking new things, trying new things, but flat out changing in a way that makes you unhappy, unsatisfied with life, or not liking your choices, uncomfortable, all that stuff, then obviously you have gravitated towards a bad clique. Okay, this may not be your sorority in its entirety. Okay, so there was a reason you got in. You must fit in with someone, even if it's 1 or 2 girls. But those 1 or 2 girls, future bridesmaids. So when you find yourself doing that, you need to expand your horizons and force yourself to make friends with other girls. Now it's hard because right away cliques might form, and it's really hard to leave a clique, you know, and then try to make friends with another one because they may not be as friendly at first. And I don't think, you know, if they're not friendly, that's another thing, but if there's someone who just they're stuck in their ways and they don't really see that you're trying to jump cliques, they're not always going to be aware of that. Now, you know, if they're rude about it, screw them, but keep moving on. But I just think that a sorority has, you know, over 100 plus girls usually. Sometimes, you know, like 500 or something. I don't know, something ridiculous. But I kind of wish that, you know, girls that I had made a connection with, that I didn't go out of my way to bond and increase those friendships and make those friends become better friends, best friends, people who would know that they could feel comfortable with texting me and asking me out and doing these sleepovers. You know, who doesn't love a sleepover? So, you know, that's just kind of my regret. And I wouldn't say that I was always in the bad clique, but I feel like I still could have gone further with making friends. 6, and I feel like this is very important, like I say about them all, but, you know, this is why this is made the top 10 list. Don't talk bad about anyone. Just don't. Okay, so I met this girl, and I think, you know, I already didn't like her just because, you know, I went to this party, and I made out with this guy, and then he made out with her, and I don't think she knew that I had just made out with him, because I feel like no girl wants to make out with a guy second. You know, like swapping saliva, you know, just within like a couple hours after another girl, especially your sister. But just because of that, I was just a little bit ticked off. I couldn't help it because I didn't know this girl. So my first impression was that. So it wasn't, you know, a great first impression. I wouldn't say I hated the girl, but it wasn't a great first impression. So that happened. So I was talking with her and we were doing some one-on-one, and she let on that she didn't like this sorority sister. And again, since I didn't know the sorority sister, I felt like I couldn't judge her for myself. So all it did was make her look petty in my eyes, and it just made me dislike this girl even more, because, you know, it's so easy to dislike the girl who like made out with my guy that I thought was cute and I liked, and right away envisioned myself dating, you know, dating my first frat boy. And so, you know, I wanted to find reasons to not like her. And so when she did something like that, which, you know, could have been just her not knowing how to bond with me or feeling insecure. You know, some girls feel like that's how other girls get along with each other right away. So to me, right off the bat, made me think she was petty. I disliked her. You know, I finally had a reason to dislike her, and I avoided her and all this stuff. Well, you know, she actually proved herself to me, in a sense, with how great of a friend she is. And she is nice, and I've never heard her talk bad about this, you know, about anyone else ever again. But because of that, I distanced myself for a long time. Okay, somebody messaged me, so I lost my train of thought, but just don't talk bad about anybody. 7, know your sister's crushes, boyfriends, friends with benefits people. Because there was a time that I went to a party. It was my first party. I was, you know, a week in from becoming a new member within my sorority, and this guy was talking to me, and it seemed like he was flirting with me, but everything was very gray area, very borderline. And, you know, eventually I was thinking that I was gonna have to make a move, and, you know, we were dancing on the dance floor and, you know, just all this stuff. So I was thinking, oh, you know, things are gonna happen. And then this girl comes into the room, and then he opens up his arms, and then they start hugging and making out just right in front of me. And it was super awkward, super uncomfortable. But, you know, I was just thinking that it may not be a good impression, that if she had walked into the room and I was all over a man, that would not have looked good. Granted, it would not have been my fault, and maybe not his fault if, you know, they weren't really committed and together, and that could have been her overreacting, or him just being a jerk and really just, you know, playing around, because, you know, why would you have to play 2 girls in a sorority that are in the exact same sorority? To me, that's a little mean when guys try to get with sisters within. You know, if you're going, you know, if you like a Greek girl, you know, and you're not committed, you know, just have 1 girl per sorority. Now, if you want to hook up with someone, hook up with somebody, but then, you know, also think about it. You know, is one night of just hooking up with this guy sometimes worth the drama? You know, like sometimes, you know, I kind of think that, you know, and then if that guy is already hooking up with a girl who is very dramatic and stuff, it makes me think that he doesn't really have a personality for me. He's never someone I'm gonna get married or gonna date or really gonna learn from and grow from, you know. So sometimes you have to think it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Ask someone, that's all it takes. 8, do know that heavy partying only impresses certain people. Now, this is just kind of hard because, you know, everyone has the right to party, and you're gonna get people who love to party hard and work hard, or girls who, you know, just party some girls who party the extreme. But certain things, you know, just know that you're going to attract a certain friend group within that sorority. If you're just, you know, besides the fact of heavy partying, that's fine, having a good time. But if all you talk about is partying, when's the next party, you know, then it seems like it's just you taking the easy way out of trying to make conversation with people. And it's really easy to make friends while you're drunk at a party. So, you know, just be self-aware of what's going on and realize that just because you're bonding with your sisters, are you making meaningful bonds? Or is this just the alcohol and just the party scene? Do you really like being friends with the party girls? Or, you know, is that just your style and so you connect better with them, you know? Just know yourself and be aware, but, you know, try new things, but just be aware of that. If you're someone who, when you go out partying, you're always crying, you're starting drama, you know, you're on the floor, you're throwing up, you know, you have to be taken care of. It gets old. Okay, 9. I don't even know what I said. Let me see what I wrote down the list. Reach out to sisters who seem shy or left out. I've kind of already addressed this, but just do it because, you know, you guys are supposed to be sisters. 10. Never, ever feel like your place in the sorority as a new member, as a freshman, as just a little pledge baby is inferior to anybody else. Do not feel like you're lower on the totem pole. Now, I guess a lot of things I feel like I talk about with first impressions, all this stuff, but that's just how human nature is. But if somebody is being mean to you and bullying you, making you feel uncomfortable, if people are hazing you, bullying is being mean to exclude someone, hazing is being mean to include somebody. But you know what? Those both have the same thing, being mean. So if somebody is doing that to you, or is, you know, always making, you know, talking down to you, condescending, avoid those people. If it seems to be like your entire sorority does it, just think about it, you know, is this something where you feel like you have to stick it through and then when you become a senior, you're just gonna be mean to the new, you know, the new class that comes in? So think about it and don't let it change you and don't let it make you feel like that's the normal because, you know, that, you know, it will ruin your self-esteem. It'll make you delusional for the real world. It's not worth it. Just do what's good for your mental health, something that will grow you in your values and your character, and people who will hold you accountable and make sure that you're always putting your best foot forward and the best practices. So to me, this holds dear to me because I did not have this. And I regret it. I was depressed. I feel like I came out of college, you know, with some really good sisters, but very few good sisters. And I wish I had known this beforehand and not had to experience this because college is supposed to be the best years of your life. So now is the time to get over the BS. These things mean so much to me. So I hope these 10 tips have helped you, and I hope that you love your sorority and that you continue to do so and you just become the best person that you can be. Okay. And if you like this video, hit the like button, and I'll be making a lot more. They get juicier as they go, because I got some gossip, I got some tea to spill. Leave a comment, again, if you're a sister and you have some more advice that I didn't mention for new sisters. If you have a question as a new member, just leave it down there. I'll get back to you. And hit the subscribe button because I make a lot of videos, and including more Greek life. So, okay, talk to you later, guys. Bye!